And I was like, oh, it's kind of like if it was a montage, right? It's like you're watching the movie Avatar or some shit, right? And it says like 1010 AD, right? And it shows him in like some kind of yoga, like, doing that. And it's like 1220 fucking 80. It's like 200 years later. And then he's sitting there like in a forest cutting the fruit. And there's like monkeys around. But it's the same character. There's like 13, whatever. And he's like a soldier boxing. And I was like, oh, look, although it looks like they're different things, they're all the same thing that he's doing. The yoga and the boxing and the eating were all the same thing, different timelines. He's showing us that wherever he goes, that's the role that he plays. So I just thought, to me, it was cool because you gave us kind of the intro into you. I saw a warrior, a soldier, a scientist, a mystic. Yeah,
I was thinking explorer.
Yeah. Like Indiana Jones kind of guy, a scientist, a shapeshifter, a assassin. I think that's probably one of my favorites that I see. And I said, okay, but this being comes around and takes these roles like this. Find him another role like that next lifetime. You know what I mean? He's not going to be a rock star, all that. He'll have all these skills that he acquires because as a soldier, you travel the world and you meet fucking people as you do your mission and you come back. And it's kind of like what he's done, right? And then you settle down and you have all this information. The older soldier. So although you're like 35, whatever the fuck you are, you're like 500 years old in IMC Nation. It's a different kind of, it's the wisdom and experience game, right? So now this is like for you, the older soldier of you, where 10 years ago, you were the traveling soldier that was gathering knowledge, going here, boom, come back with all the backpack, now comes the scientist. Let's work this shit out. And that's where you get ninth limb. And then you find AZD, and it's like, okay, so this is supposed to be that. Somehow you relate it, and you get that you're supposed to do that. And then you come, and at some point, as you're doing this shit, you go, I got a tent up right here. Why? Because you see that what this guy's doing is more important than all these other worlds you visit, because he's visited all these different worlds, different masters, met with all kinds of things, right? It's kind of like what he does. He's like a traveling rogue soldier. And then he settles down. And I say, okay, we gotta build an army here. And the character understands, like, okay, and takes the position of general just naturally. So it starts happening. And we start building. But I see now the story stops for me here, where suddenly that tent you set up became a house, this and that, and you said, okay, so this is going to be base of operations. What? I'm going to land in this universe for a while because they can use my help with what I know. This is worth all the fucking skills that I have. This is the most worth activity. Let's help out, right? Then you got to see like, oh, this is really helping some unreal level. And it's like, and then you start going, oh shit. Then you see now other warriors and travelers and mystics. And you try to convince them, bro, dude, you don't understand. And then that becomes the frustration because you've been everywhere already. You got the PhD, you traveled the world, you did the fucking this, you did the drugs, he's lived life, right? Been a bad boy, been a nerd, been a champion wrestler, there's too much shit going on over there. Right? And now it's like you want to tell them I know what you're looking for because I went there already. But it's over here now. Right? And then when people finally land here, then they get, oh shit, I'm supposed to contribute? You're like, yeah. Here's what we gotta do. You're gonna do the communications, you're gonna be over there